Recently, Sightings received a call from John Bro, a viewer who claimed that he developed a new technique for videotaping UFOs called solar obliteration. Frankly, the technique sounded a little offbeat to us, but when a Sightings camera crew tried out Bro's method, amazing images appeared on our videotape. We simply don't know what these objects are, darting across the Southern California sky and captured on home video. According to the photographer, they're extraterrestrial or possibly interdimensional spacecraft. Skeptics who have looked at these tapes see nothing more than dust, pollen, and airborne cottonwood seeds. But John Bro, the man who videotaped these UFOs, steadfastly disagrees with those who insist that there must be an earthly explanation.
The first time I tell people, I can just see their denial glands popping up in their forehead. And it's hard to deal with at first, but I found that we can adjust to it. 100% of the time that I personally tried this, I've caught something. It's a simple technique that has gotten us really good results.
The technique is called solar obliteration, using an awning, or in this case a cement overhang, to block the sun. John Bro points his camcorder skyward.
I'm blocking out the direct rays of the surface of the sun, and while allowing me to peer safely into its corona. So I'm basically making an artificial eclipse, but still I will focus my attention into the fanned out corona.
Creating an artificial solar eclipse to photograph UFOs was intriguing to the Sightings team because of our experience studying the real solar eclipse in Mexico City that coincided with the largest mass UFO sighting in history, and hundreds of those UFOs were captured on home video. Are these objects, photographed with the solar obliteration technique, somehow connected to the Mexico City sightings?
I believe they've always been there. We're just now discovering it. The same thing that is concealing them and hiding them, when the direct sunlight is taken out of the frame, is also revealing them or betraying them.
Could these objects, hundreds of them appearing every day, really be alien craft? Sightings asked John Bro if we could take his UFO tapes to an independent video analyst. He agreed without hesitation.
I've been doing this for a long time. Not just digital image processing, but the study of UFO images.
Jim Dilatoso is a computer scientist with expertise in the digital enhancement of videotapes. He says the objects on several different tapes using the solar obliteration method match precisely the classic UFO shapes cataloged in his photo archive.
Hundreds of times in the last 50 years, we've been categorizing different very specific shapes of these unknown craft. This is one of the exact shapes that has been seen since the 50s. Sometimes there's a cylinder and a disc. The disc really looks like Saturn. It's a ball. Sometimes you see the top and the bottom, sometimes you just see the top. Not saying it's alien, but at this point we're saying it is a real, structured, physical object up in the sky.
The phenomenon is striking in its simplicity. No more staring at the nighttime sky for days on end. Simply block the sun, point, and shoot.
I suggest that anyone that has a video camera can go outside and get something on video that is highly unusual. Could be a UFO, could be an alien piloted spacecraft, could be cottonwood, could be a hot air balloon, could be a lot of things. But if it's carefully planned out, there's a good chance that an ordinary person with a average, above average is better, camera can go outside and videotape something very exciting.
But it's important to remember that focusing directly on the sun can seriously damage your expensive video equipment. And, of course, the damage you can do to your eyes may be permanent.
I would advise anyone attempting the technique to use the same amount of precaution as if they were viewing a total eclipse of the sun. You cannot look directly at the surface. It could cause blindness, obviously. That's why I block it out right to the edge of the surface. And always wear UV protective sunglasses. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
The images you are now watching were taped by the Sightings team using our broadcast quality camera equipment and John Bro's solar obliteration method. We were surprised when we started getting these UFOs. And here are those objects in slow motion, pulsing and moving through the daylight sky. These objects are almost identical to the ones that John Bro had already recorded, and objects shot by two other photographers in a completely different part of the country. Is it possible that this low-tech taping method is somehow allowing us to see things we're not supposed to see? We went back to Dilitoso with the videotape shot by the Sightings team.
We know the difference between bugs and airplanes and birds and cottonwood and dandelions floating in the air. This is a structured, solid object, some distance away, moving at high speed. What I can say is that the aspects on the Sightings tape of this momentary streak behind the clouds is the same characteristics as the John Bro tape.
There's another one.
If you decide to try the solar obliteration method outlined in this report, remember not to look directly into the sun. It only takes a moment to cause permanent damage to your eyes.